Test, test. Oh, there we go. I swear, it's like it happens. You know what? The last time this happened, Bengals started a winning streak. So there we go. What we're going to do, though, we're going to start over from now. 3, 2, 1. We have somebody behind running the show today. His name is Elliot. So if there's any kind of technical difficulty, please let me know, and I will blame it on Elliot. I really won't. I really love what he's doing back there. So anyway, getting back to where we were. Bengals offense kind of took them a little while to get going. But once they got going, it kind of got going. So anyway, if let me see hands up in the chat here. Is the sound quality okay on y'all's end? I just want to make sure before we get going any further. I know it's showing on my end. Okay, cool. All right, Mark, appreciate you, brother. All right, so where we were, the Bengals went in on Saturday, and again, it doesn't matter if you're the Florida State Seminoles of the NFL. If you win, you're gonna get in the playoffs. It doesn't matter. So, what they did, they went and they beat a team they should have beaten, and they did it in overtime, and the win goes in the W column. So when it's all said and done, it's one of those things where they just got to keep winning. Bengals offense, 378 yards. You know what I mean? It wasn't like the most perfect game, but they did what they needed to do. They went out, they got things done, scored a lot of points in the second half. I believe they scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to come back and tie the thing up. Which, wait until the fourth quarter to come and tie things up. I don't know if that's something you want to do every time, but Jake Browning, again, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, got sacked 4 times. Now, the Bengals had 5 sacks. Anybody know what that 5th sack was? The 5th sack was the trick play they ran on 3rd and 1 where Tanner Hudson ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage, which technically he was a passer, counts for a sack. So that's where the 5th sack came from. Run game wasn't necessarily there like you thought it would be or you'd like it to be. They were efficient, though. 4.7 yards a carry for Joe Mixon. Not a bad day. Just only had 10 carries. So you give him some more carries. 4.7 yards in the NFL is a pretty good day. T. Higgins, watch out, man. Kid's coming on. I know he dropped the first play of the game. Forgiven. Okay, forgiven after what he did later in the game and the crazy stuff. So let's start with the offense and take a look at exactly what they did to make this thing work. So the first thing I want to do is let's just pull the Band-Aid off here. All right, it's 3rd and 1. Now, number one is the thing. I get it. You're trying to do certain things, but there's Joe Mixon right there, and you're saying, okay, we're going to do the push play or whatever. But again, that's Joe Mixon. That's your Pro Bowl, all-pro running back. Why is he out there necessarily? And so that's why they're getting set up. You can see here they're set up for the sneak. Well, they see right here. Okay, well, first off, that right there is a corner, I believe, and he's over Joe Mixon. So they're probably not playing some form of man. Now it looks like man. Don't get me wrong, but now they got him to bite. They got him to bite, but they didn't get him to bite. They did not get him to bite. So the problem is when you don't get the bite you want, and this is the thing, this was not a quarterback throwback, okay? Let me explain this to you. If it was a quarterback throwback, I promise you Joe Mixon would be blocking. Joe Mixon's not the kind of guy to just take the play off like this. So with that being said, everybody's like, man, that would have been a quarterback throwback. Well, first off, Harrison Smith's running right there. You got him running right here. Wouldn't have been a good throwback. So the people that say he's wide open, sure. Okay, good. He's wide open. This was not a design quarterback throwback. I'm just telling you, there'd be other people coming out over here if there was. This was a design throw to try to throw here. The other thing, I'm not 100% sure why there's not another leak out guy, but, and again, it doesn't really matter if he runs out of bounds here, if he does that, but I know most quarterbacks, you just kind of throw that one away. But that's that's kind of where they were with the trick play. And again, I've heard a lot of people saying it. I've said it a few times. Is just at some point, just get the first down. This was early in the game. This was first drive of the game, I believe. They end up getting 3 points out of it, but I mean, gotta be a little bit more safe with what you're doing. So we're gonna move on. Let's talk about Joe Mixon. All right, so Joe, this is a inside zone, and so he's gonna end up coming here, but they're gonna bring this guy back across over here, and I want you to watch this from the end zone. Is when he comes across and blocks here, I want you to watch Joe's inside zone, and Frank Pollock's run game is going to be right up the front side leg of the center. So really it's going to be should be running right about there. If he were to just run straight, that's where it would be. So with that being said, he might be a little bit further back, but a lot of times when you bring this guy back, that cutback is there, that rollback, if you want to call it. But watch what he does here. Watch what Jonah Williams does. Jonah Williams covers his guy up, and then Joe presses into the heels. So when I say press into the heels, see the heels of the line? That's pressing into the heels of the line. So if you ever hear somebody say press into the heels, they're talking about getting right behind them. Because here's the thing: what does that guy? He's kind of spinning, so it doesn't really matter. But it holds Harrison Smith right over here just enough, because Harrison Smith's thinking he might come back here, and he hits it up in here. Now again, Harrison Smith's unblocked. It's just part of the scheme. You're not going to be able to block everybody. You got a guy running the ball. You got a guy handing it off. So in all reality, you could only block nine of their 11 guys. So there's one of their 11 that you don't block. But again, I thought this was a really, really good job of Joe Mixon holding his track, holding where he was going. Now, same play. Okay, basically the same play. It's a different formation. You got a tight end on the backside now. But it's basically the same play. You're going to bring a guy back. But here's the issue here now. Jonah Williams gets pushed back a little bit, and him and Wilcox basically just run into each other right here. Bam. Well, this has been a recipe for disasters we've seen in some of these previous games. But if you watch what happens with Joe's doing the same thing. He's hitting it up in here, and he's actually thinking, man, I might be able to do that. But boom, those guys get banged, like right in front of him. There's nothing you can do. You got two of your own guys like standing right in your way. But watch what he does. He doesn't flip out. He just kind of says, okay. Now, where's the blocking? The blocking's all over here. You know what I mean? So they're all blocking like this. They're all inside zone blocking this way. So he said, you know what? I get that this guy's unblocked, but all my blocking is over here. So he actually gets right back into the blocking and ends up making 7 or 8 yards on that play, which people are going to look at that and go, man, he just ain't that to me right there. That's Joe Mixon right there making that play happen. And again, people are going to say, oh, well, he didn't break that tackle. Well, I want to tell you something right now. The guy made a lot bigger things happen back here. Now, with going forward, Elliott comes on. My computer was having issues. Now, here's the thing with Elliott. Elliott has been a producer at a high level for a long time. So I am going to allow him to do his thing back there. And Casey and Reed, I love them too. They're good, but Elliott, welcome into the family here of the Chatterbox clicker. Now, this right here, this is, I believe, Pace from UC. This is, and people are going to say, why was he unblocked? I'll show you in just a second. But I want you to watch Joe Mixon. Bam. Most backs at this point, you get hit once, and then you got two more guys right here basically trying to finish off the tackle, would be done. Well, no, he uses that right there. You can't really see it from this angle, but that's what all that sled work, the push, they push sleds. They push those sleds, those low sleds. Those are all the squats, all the power cleans, that leg strength right there. Push off right there. Boom. Get in the end zone. Now, watch it from this angle here. Here's what happened. Right before the snap, they moved. So these two guys are actually blocking. They're comboing 240. He's got him by himself initially. When 52 moves, it throws off their combo angles a little bit, and he stayed back. So really, they just said, you know what, y'all moved. We're taking one for a team. So that's why he became unblocked. And could you have pushed those two through? Well, if you did that, you'd have Tyler Boyd blocking Danielle Hunter, and Not sure that's the exact thing you want to do either. But again, here's the thing: they play the game too. They get paid a lot of money to play on their side too. So that, again, I don't know about the two plays before this. I know Joe Mixon was really mad the play before this that he didn't get the ball and they got stuffed. So the fact that he got in, I know right here they're like, yes, I'm in. But that's why, and yeah, I think Pace was doing some talking. I know KP says he had some good plays from this game and some horrible pass protections. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, KP, from the KC5, because I'm going to show you a pass protection that I disagree with you on. So Joe Mixon's right here. He's going to come across the formation and pick this up. Boom. Watch this from this angle. That's good pass protection. That's a lot of guys will get. Now, I'm not 100% sure where my man's going underneath here, but that's not on Joe. Joe got here. He got to where he needed to get to. He went inside. He covered him and drove him by. So appreciate you bringing in the comment about pass protection. Now, was he perfect in pass protection? Absolutely not. I do have one later on. I'm going to show you on the T. Higgins catch. That's hard. Okay. That one technically is on him. Yes, but I'll talk about that when we get to it. That was a 3 up the middle, AA blitz. That takes a lot of work, and I'm not 100% sure that they had that thing perfectly down scheme wise. But I just wanted to show you that. Again, this is Joe Mixon. I know he's getting a hard time about being, a bad pass protector, but I'm not denying that he's not. He's had some bad ones. I get it. But he does do some good things. Now, run game stuff. I heard people talking about, well, look at this. You're just letting a dude run right off the edge. Yeah, this is an issue here. Okay, so I'm just going to talk through this. Just say right here. These are your 4 down. Here's your Sam. Here's your Mike. Here's your Will. Your strong safety then moves into the box. Now, there's a thing called a back call or a re-ID. They left the ID on him. So what they did was they made him Sam, Mike, Will, and even though this guy I believe is a linebacker, they left him as free safety. What they should have done is left this guy as the safety, let him come in and block him, and actually block out, make it a back call. See, so when I say a back call, the play is going to the right. Just keep the IDs going back. And you can see this from this side. So 44 is over here off the screen. Leave him for 16. Leave him there. Block him. Double team, probably more or less double team these two to him. He's here. He's on this guy. And again, 44 is over here. Put him on 44 and then put 16 on 24. You got everybody blocked. Instead, they did this. They had 2 guys here. They had that, and 44 came off the edge free. So there are ways to fix this. Again, you can see these 2 right here are really blocking back to him. He's already being blocked. So these 2 should have been blocking back here, and you would have had a clean run. May not have been a great run, but it would have been a clean run. So that right there is, and again, I want everybody to keep this play in mind, because I'm going to come back to a play. It's exactly the same with the Bengals defense, and the Minnesota Vikings did the exact same thing. They just let I can't remember who it was come off the edge back here. It might have been Hilton come off the edge, and again, same stuff. So, welcome Molly. Trimmed my hair up a few days back, so you and I will always have haircuts in common here. So. Now looking at this. This is 3rd and 1. This is a sneak. Now, what is Minnesota doing? It's 3rd and 1. Why are they so confused? Well, here's the thing. Right here. That's a tight end. There's your tackle. This is unbalanced. They took the tackle and moved him over. So KP from KC, just to answer your question. He said, so that was supposed to be Orlando's block and Volson take the inside guy. The way they had it ID'd originally, they blocked it the way it was ID'd. What I'm saying is the quarterback or somebody should have taken the ID back to that guy that was off the screen to the left, and they didn't do that. So the ID, if the ID would have been the way it should have been, yes, that should have been Orlando Brown's guy off the edge. But the ID was wrong. They blocked it the way it was called, but the ID was wrong. And again, they're not the only ones doing it. You'll see the Bengals actually get away with it. But if you watch this is simple stuff. Why do you want them moving around like this? Because when you snap the ball, they're not down and ready. And it's a pretty simple way to get your sneak done. But if you look, there's a tight end. He's playing the tackle position. There's a tackle. He's playing the tight end position. So they're trying to figure out how to move their guys over, and that's why they're so confused. They're trying to get – hold on. Look, they're like, no, he's over here. He's over here. He's over here. And they use that. So it's a good job by the Bengals of saying, you know what, we're going to get unbalanced, and we're going to do our 3rd and 1 push and get it going. See, look, I mean, even look at Harrison Smith. He's like, dude, we got to be faster than that. Come on. Now, going in the pass game. Now, the pass game scheme stuff. This is you're going to say, well, why am I showing you a 4x1? Because there's 4 guys up here and there's 1 down here. 4x1 empty set on the roughly, I believe this was the maybe 6th play of the game, if I'm not mistaken. So if it's a 6th play of the game and you're a West Coast offense, or what you want to call what the Bengals do, that's on script. Okay, so they scripted this play to try to get something. Well, what they saw here is probably not what they thought they were going to see. So they get this whole run out to Tampa 2. Now you see this guy running up the middle right here. You see that? Now people are going, well, shoot, why didn't you throw that? Joe Burrow might have thrown that. But here's the thing. Okay, cool. Got that. What do you think they saw upstairs when they saw that? What do you think they're thinking? They're thinking to themselves, well, shoot, what are the other times that we can get them into Tampa 2, whether it's this Tampa 2 or some other Tampa 2, and run this, whatever you want to call it, shoot route, middle route, middle go. That's what, that's what they're looking at. Now, here's the play later in the game. So you ask why do they do scripts? Well, they do scripts to see things like that, to say, okay, here's how they're playing it today. Now, look, they're going to back into this kind of Tampa 2 look again. But what they're going to do is they're going to run him inside like this, but they're going to just run Charlie Jones straight up the chute. And you can see right here, like T. Higgins is pulling the attention away initially from that guy, but then I believe that's Harrison Smith in the middle initially gets him. But here goes Charlie Smith. It's all the same, right? Charlie Jones right up the middle. Now, this is disappointing that they didn't get it. I get it. But think about this. That's why you always wonder, why are all these dudes up in the booth? They don't do anything. They sit there and they're eating, they're drinking, all this kind of stuff up there. And then here you come running right up the chute. And man, I'll tell you what, I know they're sick on this one. But you can see Charlie Jones comes in, up, he's really in Tampa 2 supposed to take that guy. You saw it on the first one. And he runs right past him, and that's why he's so open right there. So I know you say he slowed down a tick right there. I'm not sure he's slowing down. I think he's just I think he's turning to look. Some guys do slow a touch when they turn to look. But man, I'm just, golly. You see how close that is. I mean, that's off the fingertips right there. And even if he catches it, falls down, I mean, big play. But again, they're doing a good job of scheming up some things and what they're doing. Now, these next 3, I want to talk about high-lows, okay? And what I mean by high-low is this is going to be a high-low, and it's going to be thrown behind the Tampa 2 guy. So here's the Tampa 2 guy right here. And this is Tampa max. And when I say max, there's only 3 rushers. So there's really 8 in coverage. So that's a max drop. But you'll see right here, they're high-lowing this guy right here. So they're going to bring Irv Smith and sit him right here. They're going to bring Chase and bring him right behind, and they're going to high-low him. And what they're doing is they're trying to get 24 right here to turn his eyes that way. So they're going to throw the high-low in behind him. That way he's not looking. And if this guy, he's reading this guy right here. If he steps up, so when he sees this guy turn his shoulders this way, his eyes come over here. If he steps up, he throws that. If he stays back, he just bangs it right there on Irv Smith. And you can see right there, just good play. So high-low, that's the first one, okay? So you can see it right here again. When he drops down, he's going to end up throwing it behind. And I have a reasoning for bringing all these high-lows up because it does end up being something. The next one here, this is a high-low. That's in the fourth quarter. So it's actually after the thing I'm kind of building up towards here. But again, high-low right here. They're stacked. So Higgins is going to do this. He's going to come and run right here. And this guy, you're reading this guy right here. So high-low, that guy plays onto Chase. And here comes Higgins in right behind it. And this is just quarters coverage. It's pretty simple stuff. You know, they've got it. They're playing not to get beat deep. And that stack is tough on these guys. You see how they, you know, it's hard on these guys when you're stacked like that. Because you can't just say, okay, I got the inside vertical, I got the outside vertical. Well, you don't know. Is he going inside? Is he going outside? Because Higgins could do that. Higgins could do that. Higgins could do that. Higgins could stop and Chase do that, or Chase do that. You know, there's just a lot of things that can happen. I know I just drew a bunch of lines right there. Reds daily. The Titans will win the Super Bowl next year. They said that last year. But right there you can see high-low. Now, why am I bringing up all this high-low stuff? I'm bringing up all this high-low stuff because when you run a flat and a corner here, you're reading the cornerback here. If he goes high, you throw it low. If he goes low, you throw it high. Now, if he sits right in the middle, you got to make a decision. But you can also do this, because most of these type of routes have something along the lines of this on the backside. And you can see here, again, what is this on the backside? It's a high-low on the backside. So if he looked over here and said, you know what, I've decided I want to throw this side, but man, that guy's making it hard on me to throw. Turn your eyes back here, and here comes T. Higgins on that backside dagger running in there. So he could have probably come back to that if he just progressed. Well, he decided he's going to try to throw this ball right here. And again, this was 2nd and 7. This was not a necessarily a forced throw to say, you know, we got to get the first down. But again, you know, that guy hung out and he just threw it right there. And again, you know, even if he doesn't catch this, he catches that. That's a rough one right there. Because I mean, I think, you know, even if this guy played down the way Harrison Smith's playing that, he probably picks that off too. But, you know, throw it to him, be safe, or, you know, progress it back. And I'm sure that's what he's being told, you know, is, hey, listen, progress that thing back. Don't make those kind of, dangerous throws right now, because really, in all reality, you know, you've got Higgins running back in right there, and that's the next read. If he decides that I don't want to throw here, you know, Higgins is coming back over here, and you just kind of read it back across the field. So it's a full field read, but it's just a left to right read at that point. Now, sacks. People want to bang on the may not be a good term, but people want to beat on the O-line about giving up sacks. Well, this is a drive concept. So it's going to be that, it's going to be that, and there's always something else over here. Well, the thing is usually that's your back. So if your back's over here, he'll check down over here, called a 2x2, some call it a stop. But if he's on the opposite side in protection, he'll come over here and he'll run a burst route. And that's what a lot of teams call burst route. So with that being said, you've got drive, basic burst. Well, it's what they call reading a triangle. So there's a triangle here. So they build a triangle. Problem you have here is you can see Joe Mixon thinks he sees it a little bit late. I think Joe's supposed to be over here. So if that were to be the case, you wouldn't have two guys standing on top of each other. And you can watch this from the end zone of Jake Browning's looking here. He's like, okay, I'm trying to throw this over here. I want to take a shot over here, but there's nothing there. Now he comes back and I think he's looking for that and it's not there. And at this point, man, just put the ball away. You see how that ball's up here? That's prime for a fumble. Always two hands on the ball when you know you're going to get hit. Two hands on the ball, and then again, people are kind of dogging on this play, but if you watch this, he actually lets him go. It looks worse than it really is, and he doesn't land on him or anything. It's just it's a hard hit, man, hard hit. But I must have missed something in the chat, and I'm kind of interested to see this. 100 likes. I will challenge Parker to every physical count. Yes, y'all. Hey, come on, y'all got to get this done. All right, we'll bring. You know what? If we got to, we will for sure get that somehow on video. Ben Riley, super chat. The catch and stretch and the dart to Boyd on 3rd and 9 were the most amazing plays I've ever seen, maybe ever. Also, can we please make trick plays illegal? Well, since you super chatted it, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to reach out to whoever I can reach out to on the Bengals that I know, and I'm going to say, stop running trick plays. Probably not going to listen to me. If they were listening to me, I'd probably be in there hanging out with them during the day, which would love to be doing, but here I am, and I will do what I can for you, Ben. Appreciate you in the super chat there. So anyway, point being is this, that to me was not on the line. I think the line is doing a good job because really the ball should be out right now. Ball should be out right now. Now Browning's trying to make something of it, and here's the thing. People are going, well, why didn't the lineman keep blocking? There's a clock in their head. They don't know what he's doing back there. He could be scrambling. They don't know, because here's the thing. Which of those linemen right now is looking at the quarterback? None of them. Zero. None of them are looking. So with that being said, that one's not on the line. This one here is a 3-step pass. And when I say 3-step pass, if you watch all the routes except for this one that's kind of a little glance route. The rest of them are all 5-yard hitches. The line is blocking for 1, 2, 3, gone. 1, 2, 3, gone. Well, yeah. You see where he's throwing the ball? That ball should be out right now. Well, it's not. And those guys, those linemen, they had a short set right here, and they're not they're thinking that ball's gone. So whether this is on the quarterback or whatever, what I would tell you this is, if you have that much space on the outside and they're running hitches, I think he ended up trying to throw here, but just throw it to one of these two guys here and do the guarantee completion. I get it. It's second and 11 right here. Do you want to do that? And again, this is an overtime. I think they're just trying to get the ball moving, but taking a sack like that on a 3-step pass, again, I don't put this on the line. I think that's pretty good 3-step. That's pretty good 3-step protection. Again, it's just you got to make the decision to get that ball out. Now, players making plays. What has been the biggest issue since Burrow's been out? Well, it's been Burrow's not out. Burrow's not there to make the play. So what's got to happen? These other dudes got to make plays. I made a point last week that the collective needs to make plays, not the one. The collective needs to make plays. Well, here's some video of the collective making plays. This is a double A, and when I say double A, there's 2 linebackers in here, and then Harrison Smith's down here. It looks to me like, okay, if they were to bring everybody, this would be a cover 0, meaning it's all out blitz, and all these guys are blitzing. Well, right before it, they bluff out. Mind you, this is 3rd and 21. This is 3rd and 21. Not many people convert 3rd and 21s, just letting you know. Now, this is the protection. Protection's good. Look at the protection. Protection's good. Browning sits in here. You're going to run these guys across deep, and you're going to run Chase in right behind them, right here. And Chase making a play, man. Players making plays. Get the ball to your guy. Let him catch it. Get the first down. But again, it's just, there's nothing special about that route concept at all. And, again, it's great job by these guys of being set, being ready for the protection, but getting it done. I hear you talking about a drawing tablet. I'll talk to y'all about that in a little bit. I do have some recommendations. Now, this next play, this is 2nd and 6. This is in the first quarter. Now, this is a cross dog with edge pressure. Okay, so really, this is tough. They're going to bring this guy here and this guy here. That's tough in itself to pick up. Trust me. I've coached backs and line. That's tough in itself to pick up. Well, they've got 7-man protection. They're bringing edge pressure and this. Well, it gets kind of jacked up here somewhere. And I think it's more or less with the tight end probably should be here. He should be here. He should be here. So, I think the left side and the tight end somehow, because you got the back to block that guy. And something happened here. People are going to say this is Mixon. I don't think this is on Mixon. This might have been the one he was talking about earlier. I don't think this one's on Mixon because with this protection's not built that way. Now, I could be dead wrong, but it should be here, these two for those two, these two for those two, him here and him on that guy. So, again, something wasn't right in communication, but pointing this out, watch Browning take this hit, boom, and drops a dime. Not many people make that play. Not many people make that play. Now, I know, Parker, you said should have left the back inside. This is where my coaching stuff's going to come in on this NFL level running back stuff. Usually, this is good old. And Parker, I know you coach O-line, so you'll understand what I'm saying. This is the full. This should be like the full slide. Everybody going this way. Known rusher, and he has C to. Why is my thing drawn? C to D gap, and I think that's what they were trying to do, knowing that. That I know I get that they're sliding. That's what I'm saying. Something wasn't right with the communication, and again with the tight end staying in. I don't know a whole lot of NFL teams that are doing a protection where he would be in here with the tight end here, but I could be dead wrong. Like I told you, and Parker, I think you're one of those guys I've had this conversation with. I'm not in their building, so I don't know what they're doing. That's just what I'm just telling you what I see, but I get it. Would have been a heck of a lot better if they just left, he takes the first crosser, he takes the second crosser, and boom, you got that thing picked up. But to say that's on Joe, because you see Joe sitting in C gap, that's the reason I say it it looks to me like it's C gap to D gap for the back. I'm just not sure what's going on with the rest of it. So we'll leave it at that. Steak, subs, and asparagus for dinner, Molly. Good stuff. The chat is on fire tonight talking about asparagus. I don't know where you guys are starting to turn it on here, man. Steak, subs, and asparagus. You're getting me hungry now. All right, now moving on. Sorry. Moving on. Bubble screen to Chase Brown. This was very, very early. It might have been the first play of the game, actually. Second play of the game, I guess, second down. But if you look here, man, just get the ball to one of your guys. And you talk about guys making plays. Okay, good. You got 2 of them blocked. Okay, Chase Brown drafted you to make that guy miss. Boom, make him miss. Take it for another 10 yards. That to me is why you get guys like Chase Brown. That to me is why you use guys like Chase Brown. You get your guys to play, get the guys the ball and let them play. Now, looking at this touchdown to T. So this is what I've known as a pivot concept. It's snag 7 flat. You can call it that. He's going to sit here and he's going to be in a flat. All right. So it's a snag 7 flat. So you can say snag 7 flat. Well, what you end up doing is you're kind of reading this guy. But if they want to play this particular coverage, like a quarter style coverage, palms coverage, that they're playing here, where it's really, kind of like that ball should probably be thrown to Chase. Now, this whole segment's called Players Making Plays. Browning said, you know what? Screw this. I'm throwing that ball up. T. Higgins is down there somewhere. Boom. Great job by T. Higgins to run through this contact. Because in all reality, that's probably illegal contact. Didn't get called, obviously. But run through the contact, and Browning to put this ball where only T could get it or go out of bounds, which was good. But again, with this type of coverage, a lot of times that guy's going to get the ball right there. But I thought this was great by T. Higgins, man. Sometimes the guys just got to make plays, and they're making plays. And again, here's Joe Mixon coming across, hitting him. Yeah, you'd like to see him maybe get a little bit more space between him. But again, coming across, picking him up, good job right there in protection. Allowed the ball to get out and get done. Now, this is the play everybody's been talking about. So this is 3 up the middle. Now this is that protection that I was talking about. Okay, so when we're talking about the full slide, C gap, known rusher. Now here's the issue with this. They've got double A, and they're going to bring what I call 3 up the middle. They're going to do this and then bring that third guy up the middle. And this is a tough one to pick up, man. It's just hard. This is just one of those ones. It's a tough one to pick up. So he's got him. Volson's got to push through for him. Orlando Brown's got to push through for him. Joe should be right off the hip of Orlando Brown right there. And that's not a good matchup. But again, sometimes you don't get good matchups. He should be right there. And you can see him. He's like, oh, crap. He knows it too. He should be right there, sitting right there. And then if Orlando Brown takes him, he can work out. But at this point, he should be right there. Would have made this play a little easier. But if you want to talk about, reason, divine intervention, whatever you want to call it. If that guy is picked up, he's going to throw this ball probably right here. Okay. Well, he doesn't, and he scrambles, and he's like, F it, T's down there somewhere. And again, I was talking on to Armando Orlando on Warm 98 there in Cincinnati, and she said something like there was like 3 things he had to do. He had to catch it in double coverage. He had to get his feet in, and he got the ball in, and he just had to do 2 of those 3 things. Well, here he is catching the ball in double coverage. There he is getting his feet in bounds. And then somehow or another, this cat not only keeps his feet in bounds, he pivots his feet and gets that ball inside the pylon. One of the most incredible usages of a guy's flexibility, range, length, whatever you want to. I mean, this dude, man, if that's not one of the plays of the year when it comes to SB awards or whatever else. And yes, Parker, I did almost use another word there. But yeah. But that play, man, I'm just telling you guys, like that, and I know y'all know this, but like I've been around a lot of superior athletes in my time, in my 12 years in the NFL and college and my 6 years in college. That ain't normal. That ain't normal, guys. That ain't normal. And again, just wanted to make sure that. I put it on here from the other angle too, because look at this. He has to go up and catch it, and then somehow or another gets that ball. That's unbelievable, man. I can sit here and talk about that play all day. All right, last play of the offense. A couple things I want to talk about. Travion Williams does a good job in protection. He can do one thing better, and I'll point this out, and this is the running back coach coming out at me, but I'll talk about that first real quick, actually. So you have an edge rusher here, who's doing this. And then what's going to happen is they're going to try to come in and pick and come around. Watch what Travion Williams does. He hits Harrison Smith so hard, knocks him across into Jonah Williams. It's exactly what you want to do. Now, the one thing I would tell him is at this point right now, get your feet back a little bit. Once you knock him across, lose a little ground. And if he loses just a little ground, he may not be in that situation where he gets the two-hand swipe. If he comes back just a little bit, get on levels mainly with him, that'd be the only thing I would say. But that's a heck of a – man, boom, get him across. But, again, heck of a job. Now, going back to this play, I had a thing a couple of weeks ago that said better be lucky than good. Right now, okay, scramble drill. Now, here's the thing I would say to T. Higgins. You know Tyler Boyd's running here. Go here. Get out of the way. Right now, you're just bringing more people to the party. If T. Higgins takes off and goes here, that guy at least has got to go cover him. Now, Tyler Boyd catches his ball. If you told me right there he'd be in that situation right there, that's like that that meme you see, and yep, that's me. Let me tell you how I got here. That right there. Boom. Better lucky be good, man. Hop out of that thing, go make something happen. Again, Tyler Boyd just seems to be making plays, man, when you need him most. But again, that's that's a really good job right there. So, Parker, I see your comment. A real coach, I like to say I'm a real coach. I think you're a real coach. You're out there coaching O-line. But yeah, there's a lot of things there's a lot of things as a coach, man, when you're watching things you want to talk about right there. But again, great play there. Now, here's the thing, man. Like, that's a ballsy throw, especially when you need a field goal. It's a ballsy throw. Now, I know you got to make plays, man. Players making plays. And again, if you would have told me right there that he'd go for another 20 yards, my Betfred account would have been empty. So, basically, man, the offense did what they needed to do. Again, Jamar Chase, whether or not he's hurt or not, I'm assuming he is the way they're talking. I know Zach won't rule him out, but again, that's coach speak, and I respect that. But I do think the offense right now as a collective is playing very well, and that's what they need to continue to do. They don't need to do anything more than what they're doing. I know they said against Pittsburgh last time, we can't run because it's Pittsburgh. You should still try to have a run game going, because the way they're running the ball right now, they're doing a good job of it. And again, they were down 17 to 3. Maybe they were down 24 to 3 at one point or something like that. So it got to the point where they had to throw the ball. I understand that, man. The game plan, the game dictates some of that stuff. So it is what it is. Ben, did you see the ref smile at T? How can you not, man? Dude, like that was unbelievable what he did. Moving forward to the defense. To answer your question, whoever asked it earlier, there's a Telestrator in the Microsoft store. It's called Telestrator. That's one of the best ones I've used. The one I'm using here was gifted to me by somebody, and I'll leave it at that. But I will say that the Telestrator app in the Microsoft store is pretty good. I think it's free, or it's like $7 maybe. I use that one for my Caskies clicker on Monday nights LSU for the Jordy Collada show. So there's some stuff there if you guys are looking for a Telestrator app. Other than that, you got to pay a lot of money for them. And, if you're willing to pay money for them, you can find them out there. They're out there. Now, let's go to the defense. I want to talk about this because this is something that got brought up last night on Monday Night Football with the Eagles. People keep talking about why are the Eagles so good at QB sneaks and all this kind of stuff. Well, here's these are the last two plays for Minnesota in overtime. And I want you to keep in mind this formation, because I'm going to show it to you here in a minute on a 3rd and 1. But right here, they're basically saying this. Now watch their guys. See how high they are. See that They're high. Now, look right here. So he's getting low. But all they're doing is just shooting down. They're like falling down. Just keep this in mind. But that's why you're not getting any push. You're not getting that kind of rise that Philly gets. So that was this one. Now this is the last play. This is 4th and 1. Trying to do the same thing, but he doesn't get the snap right here. They showed it on the TV copy, but you can see him fighting for the ball right there. And again, that got his body so turned that there's zero chance that he's gonna. When you're turned in that fetal position right there, there's nothing to push on. Your back is too. See, his face is looking this way, and but again, look at how high everybody is, and even the guys who are going low, they're just diving. You see what I'm saying? They're just diving. Now, let's take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles. This is from last night, Monday Night Football against the Seahawks. I want you to watch their interior line right here. They're going to get underneath everybody, but they're going to get underneath everybody, and their feet are moving, and they're just root hogging under and trying to move. You see that? See how they're getting down? They're getting their shoulders down. It's kind of like they're dipping underneath it, and then Hurts just gets on the back of them and just rides them. It's just riding the wave at that point. But that's what they're doing. That's why they're getting so much movement. Look at how they're getting down. They're getting underneath, and their feet are moving. And again, it's not Parker says it here and emphasize the drive and lift. It's like you don't just shoot your body under these dudes and hope that they would, get it or whatever. They should ban quarterback sneaks for quarterback concussion safety and to stop the tush push boring play. Has nothing to do with the concussion. And you know what? If they want to stop it, learn how to stop it. Anyway, but here's the, I see where you're coming. But anyway, here's the touchdown they had last night. But again, watch the line here. This is why these things are working. And I know this isn't Bengals related. I just want to make sure people are understanding there's a difference in how they're blocking it. It's you don't just line up and push them. They're blocking it differently. That is an entirely different technique. Look, they're underneath Seattle, and they're taking Seattle for a ride. Even if you jump on top of them, they're just going to take you for a ride, and that's the difference. Watch my man here come and try to knock my guy Swift right. Ding. I was in Detroit when we drafted DeAndre, so. But you can see right here, it's an under lift. And, yeah, Hurts has strong legs. Yes, I get it. But that's blocked 100% different than what you've seen in those other games. So, anyway, off my soapbox here. All right, trick plays. We all got them, and they apparently run them in the same spot of the field. Seems like this is where every trick play for the Bengals has been run this year. Right here. Now, they got perfect, exactly what they wanted. They got all of this right here. But what they didn't get was this guy's backside of quarters. If you watch them, they're playing quarters right here. So really when this guy crosses, this guy right here is expecting one of these two guys to pick him up. Well, those two guys went running up like this. They got exactly what they wanted, but because they bought in and just said, screw it, all right, we already bought in, they went running up to it. They screwed up the throw here. And this guy's actually open. So it's kind of lucky that it fell the way it was, but I will give these guys credit. They got bamboozled into running up for the throw, but they said, you know what? Screw it. We're going to make your throw hard. And it knocked the throw down. So it all worked out when it was all said and done. Parker, swear folks will never understand how fun it is to watch the Eagles run the brotherly shove. I do. I'm telling you, man. I mean, here's the thing. What are you going to do? Are you going to ban deep throws next? Are you going to ban if that's the case, let's just stop playing. I mean, it's their job to stop you. They have 11 guys. We have 11 guys. Stop it. And that's eliminating is the inside guys are allowed to be over the line of scrimmage. Hear me out. No, that would be offsides. Haven't y'all been watching TV the last couple of weeks about offsides? Come on. So anyway, that was their trick play. Now interceptions. Y'all, this stuff was pretty unbelievable because we're talking about offsides. I'm glad you brought up offsides. I don't even know how to say your name. Hors d'oeuvre. Is it hors d'oeuvre? I guess it's hors d'oeuvre. There you go. My man's not offsides here, guys. Like, watch when this ball snapped. I mean, ball's moving right there. Ball's moving. He's not offsides. And if he is offsides, they've got a different angle than I got. Heck of a job here, though, man. I mean, this is cover 2, and so you got a cloud corner. He's really playing this area. He sees this, Jermaine Pratt does, and freaking jumps this thing, man. And it's hard to say, like, I mean, dude, and this is a heck of a run right here. Watch, you got Justin Jefferson on his back, and he pulls a Joe Mixon right here. I'm getting in, man. I told you those low sled pushes right there. But again, that to me, I mean, they called it offside, so apparently it is. But if you're telling, and again, ball's moving right there. Ball's already moving back, so that's a tough one, man. But they called it, and I don't think that you can challenge those things. I'm pretty sure. But again, if you watch, I mean, that's just perfect timing. And what do you think he's timing us off of? So you got a motion, and you see that little head bob when he puts his head down, his head comes up. Over time, you time that up, and that's what happens. In hors d'oeuvre, I do agree with you. The offensive tackle should not be 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I will agree with you. I will agree with you on that one, hors d'oeuvre. That is 100% true. So that was one that got taken away, but I had to put that in the interception column because, I mean, come on now. All right, now they got 2 double teams on this play. So if you watch right here, this right here is T.J. Hawkinson. Okay, so you don't want in the red zone. This is a guy you want to have 2 guys over the top of. Now watch right here. Here's Justin Jefferson running here. You got a guy here and a guy here. Now this is a semi-drive concept, if you want to say. Okay, so it's the same thing we were talking about earlier, where you've got somebody here, you got like this. And if you watch Justin Jefferson, when he gets up here to the top, I think he's supposed to come straight across. Well, he gets to the top and he fades it back, which allows Mike Hilton right here to make this play. You see that little fade back? It's like, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to keep coming in like that. So, again, good coverage by the Bengals, man. Good coverage. Nick Mullins making this decision to throw that. If he thinks he's supposed to come under like this, I totally get it. If he's supposed to keep coming underneath like that, but when he faded off, and I mean, Hilton makes a heck of a catch here now, man. I mean, it was a legit catch. We saw it on TV, but again, that was. But they had double teams. They're double teaming their dudes and taking their guys out of it and saying, beat us with somebody else. This was 3rd and 7. Now, unfortunately, B.J. Hill does not get credit for a sack, but they're going to run an E-T. So the end goes first, the tackle goes second. And that right there is a sack, right? Cool, sack. What is my man doing right there? I mean, I get it. You want to try to throw the ball away, but you're going to get intentional grounding, and the ball's going to be right there anyway because the ball gets put where you would have been sacked. That's the whole thing of intentional grounding. You intentionally ground it somewhere. They put the ball where you threw it from, so it's a sack. That's what they do. But B.J. Hill, great play, man. Up and under, get a hold of him, sack him, bring him down. And then you know what? Intercept the ball, big man. The guy's got 2 interceptions on the year. That's more than a lot of DBs, man. I mean, that is big time. Am I saying that's Hayro? Is that how that's said? Sorry if I misspelled your name, hors d'oeuvre. But appreciate you being in here, and I love what you're saying, man. So keep it going because I do agree with you on the tackle thing. But right here, I mean, B.J. Hill, you better watch out, man, because this guy right here might be leading the team in interceptions before it's all over. Not too often you get a defensive lineman with this kind of interception ratio. Now, let's look at sacks. We just talked about basically a sack. Now, this is a perfectly timed will free safety blitz. Normally, if this guy were to run down early, you can get the protection changed, and you can change the protection now. So you see him coming down. Normally, if that guy's right there, you can maybe turn the line this way and help the back out. Well, it happens so perfectly timing. Now, look, how's that any different? How's that any different? But the timing of this right here, because of the way this thing was timed out, they kept their line all turned over here. Now you've got two defenders on the running back. Now the running back has a choice here. He usually takes the inside of the two, but because he was just a little bit ahead right here, you take the most dangerous. Now watch what Ham has his way right there. Just says, no, get down, bud. Pretty good block by him, but again, you got two on the back. So, and again, even if he got blocked, let's say Ham did the Viagra block and he swole up right there and he took both of those. I think Hendrickson makes that play. Just what I see right there. And look, there's a term for that I will not use. Now, this one right here, this is 2nd and 1. I want you to watch the get off of Myles Murphy. So everybody keeps talking about this guy. Where's he at? Where's he at? It's a get off. Boom. Come around him. It's the, see that kind of, it reminds that to me right there reminds me of Carlos Dunlap. And Carlos Dunlap, I mean, I was with him for the most part of his Bengals career. And I'm just telling you, man, that guy was a beast when he wanted to go. And you could see that in Myles Murphy. And it's kind of like he's getting off. It's like the Euro step right there. He just kind of like faked him just a touch. And then he came around and boom, drop him on his head. Great job by Myles Murphy. So I think Myles Murphy's starting to come into his own. And you can see right there, it's that kind of little dip. And then just overpower him right there, man. Just overpower him. Last sack I got here. This is a coverage sack, man. You got to give these guys some love back here because this is a straight up coverage sack. I know Hendrickson beats his guy around the edge, but he gets run past. See, he gets run past right here. But look, there's nobody to throw to, man. Nobody to throw to, and he's like, "Oh crap, who do I throw to here?" But Hendrickson, watch the effort. This is what makes this guy so valuable to the Bengals defense because it's okay. He runs past, but it's just like, okay, cool. I'm going to keep going because here's the thing. What if Mullins went this way? I guarantee he's chasing him back over here. Again, I mean, great job in coverage sack. So I think, again, the defense is playing as the collective too. You know what I mean? It's like I was talking about that with the offense, but with the defense, you can do the same thing. Run defense. All right, so there's a few things, and I'll show you this. I'll show you a couple bad ones, but because I do want to get into some good ones. Do I think Hendrickson runs past too much? Maybe at times, but I think that's just because of the way he rushes. He rushes so hard up the field, that sometimes those linemen they get paid too. They'll push him up a little bit further than he probably needs to go. But if you watch this though, like this is kind of a misdirection counter play, and they kind of overrun it just a little bit. And again, that happens at times. And this kid number 32 here, does a good job of cutting it back. But again, just overrun it a little bit, and it's shown up a few times. But with that being said, I'll get to a counter here in a minute. Now, duo. Give these guys credit where credit's due. This is a perfectly blocked duo play. Here, these two are going to block to 55. These two are going to block to 57. He's going to block here. There's a guy off the screen. Hawkinson's going to block. You run on the corner. This guy unblocked as well because he's the free safety. But watch the way they block it. They stay on their guys, and everybody's covered up. Battle does one thing. This is probably the one play I'd say Battle probably wishes he would have had back. He should come stacked more in on this guy just a little bit to force him, because right here, when he comes down in, he's going to go here, and he makes the play down the field. But again, if he kind of hangs here just a little bit, it might force him to make that cut, and he makes that tackle right there. But perfectly blocked play by the Minnesota Vikings. It happens. And again, good job of getting him down before he got into the end zone. Now this is 2nd and 1 early in the game, and this is one of those ones right here. If I'm talking about the Bengals offense, I'd be like, what is he doing? So in this case right now, they're mis-ID'd again. So these two are blocking to here. These two, if they're going to block to here, they should be blocking to here. They should be blocking like that. Something ain't right. And Hawkinson turns back on this guy, leaves Hubbard unblocked, and they make the play. But look at everybody in gaps. Gap, 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 gap. So they're playing it really well right there. And good run defense. Now, this one here, this is what I was talking about earlier. Remember that one that the Bengals had? Now, this being said, if you know that you have a guy coming off the edge, he's going to come here. So he blocks here, he blocks here, he blocks here. These two should block to here. He blocks here, he blocks here. And you've got it all picked up, but they didn't do that. And here comes Mike Hilton flying off the edge. Now, I think something's wrong right here because my man Mullins, I don't know where he's going. He ends up getting the ball to him, but that's it happens. It happens to all those teams. So they got mis-ID'd here. But again, it's 1-for-1 in the game. Minnesota's defense had one, and now the Bengals have one with Hilton. Hilton played his out of his mind the other day. He had a really, really good game. So give him as much props as you can give him. Now this is the counter I was talking about. So we were talking about how they overran the other one a minute ago. What I want you to watch, though, is Miles Murphy's going to do what I call boxing. He's going to stick his shoulder into him and force this guy to have to go inside. He's going to keep his outside shoulder free and allow that linebacker to fit right there. And you can see this from the backside. So he's going to box him, allow Pratt to fit right there. But watch what Miles Murphy does. So he boxes him, and he kind of gets pushed back a little bit. It's going to happen. That's Ed Ingram. Ed Ingram played at LSU. I know Ed Ingram. He's a large human being. He's going to move you back a little bit. But watch, he comes off of this thing and still makes a tackle. So Miles Murphy playing well, run game, all that kind of stuff. So that's the run defense. Pass defense. You remember I was talking to you about the quarterback shove a minute ago. Well, look, it's 3rd and 1. Quarterback shove. What's the difference between this one and that other one I showed you? Well, the other one I showed you was a wide receiver, and he came right here, and he got in the sniffer location right behind him. That's a fullback. He's offset a little bit, and he's deeper. So there's something to it. They're going to run what I call roll right. So they're going to end up doing this, and these guys are all going to go here, and he's going to kind of do that. And you're trying to get – it's hard. This is a hard one. This is called, from the defense's perspective, if you're looking at it, it's flat to the left. And if you got a right-handed quarterback, the flat to the left, you'll hear defensive coaches say, man, it's the flat to the left. Well, it's just a tough, man. I mean, because you got a kind of half of a pick going on here. You got the action going here. It's going to hold them here. It's just a tough play. So good job by Minnesota getting the getting the conversion on the 3rd and 1. But again, if you watch this from the backside, you see how he's offset a little bit? Well, he's offset a little bit so the quarterback can get out so he can go here. That receiver was coming in and sitting right behind him. And is that enough to tip you, to let you know something ain't right? I don't know, but those are some things that I'm sure the next teams that are playing Minnesota are going to start looking at is who is the guy, what's his location, is he really pushing, or are they doing this play? So there's some little things that you're going to look at. I noticed the chat has turned into diaper changing and if you use paper plates. Well, I can tell you in my house, a lot of diaper changing, a lot of paper plates. So if you have kids, change their diapers. Use paper plates. It'll make your life a lot easier. Now, 3rd and 8. We're talking about coverage here. So 3rd and 8. So it looks like zero coverage, right? Same thing that Minnesota was showing earlier. But what they're going to do now, why is my man running from side to side right here? Well, they got a blitz set up. And I'll guarantee you, he's supposed to be opposite of the back. So if the back's on this side, he's on this side. Well, watch what the back does. Back changes sides, so he changes sides. Now watch. The line is setting over here. So all the guys the line set to, so if a lineman sets to a guy, whoever that guy sets to, they're going to drop out. If you don't set to a guy, you keep rushing. Now, they converted it, but I just want to point out right here that this is a tough thing for a quarterback. This quarterback just got lucky right here, to be honest with you. The heck of a call by Anarumo on the defense, because look, he sets here. Shoot, they end up sitting here. They don't even block Zach Carter. Don't even block him. So, I mean, again, good scheme there to get that done. Couple more in pass defense. Now, this is what I call tricky two. So you start out kind of looking like you're in some form of one high, and then on the snap, they're going to roll to Tampa. He's going to roll back. He rolls here. He rolls down. He runs out, and you end up in cover two. Well, there's some voids in Tampa too, and those voids are kind of in those little areas right there. And Mullins is actually looking to throw that. And because he rolls down, he doesn't throw it. He actually turns back late, and they're running like a stick and go right here. And just happens to kind of, I hate to say they lucked into it, but I mean, that's like his third read. You can see right here, he's like goes 1, 2. He comes all the way back to throw this one. But, is that a pass issue or a scheme issue? I don't think so. I think what it is sometimes, when you go with these like tricky looks, if you want to call them, sometimes you trick yourself out of them sometimes, you know what I mean? And I think right here, just happened to be one of those ones. He saw him, he threw it. Good for him. Now this one here is one robber. And when I say one robber, so it's going to end up being one deep right here. And this guy's kind of in here, and he's really looking to double team right here. So I believe that's Jefferson right there. So it's one robber. So he's going to come in. They're going to double him. It could be 1 double 18. Could be that, what it's called. But you can see right here, they actually make a check. See all these guys right here? They see man coverage, so they check it. So what they're doing here is they're going to run this little thing and come underneath. And he kind of runs through here, gets caught just enough to where he's like, okay, I'm going to get that ball out. Now, again, better be lucky than good. Mullins right here just, he's got the entire defense down here pulling at his legs. And, everybody talks about game of inches. Like, that's a legit inch. So, there you go. And, hey, they made a play. All right, and then this is brackets coverage. In the red zone. So Justin Jefferson's down here, and you'll see here, like you're trying your hardest to kind of keep, guys in areas to where, you always have a guy inside, guy outside. Well, there's nowhere to throw right here. They got it picked up, perfectly picked up. Great job. Nick Mullins runs out here. I have no idea what makes him say, cool, man, I'm going to chunk this ball right there. I know he's about to get hit, but again, better lucky to be good though, because look at what he's looking at right here. When he throws his ball, that's what he sees when he throws his ball. I guess he thinks he's going to come back in this area, but he's standing there. It's just like there's a lot of bodies right there, and again, great job by Minnesota to make it happen. But that's brutal for the Bengals, because that is one of those plays that you don't. That's an unplanned for play. I see Captain right up in here chilling. Got his Joe Mixon. I think that's Captain right there. It is, isn't it? Yep, that's Captain. Captain. Yeah, Captain. Not happy about that. Hubei. See up in there too. I don't see Houday baby though. Maybe I'm just missing him. He's up there somewhere. Last couple of things. Tackling. I got one that I just want to show you. This is from a running back coach's perspective. That's a safety. Okay, that's a safety. That's a corner. All right. So as a running back coach, you always said, we're going to run on safeties. I mean, we're going to block safeties. We're going to run on corners. Now, again, I want you to watch the blocking by Minnesota. They don't block the Mike linebacker. Something ain't right. They should be doubling here to him. He should be here. He should be here. Instead, they've got something just isn't right with the way they've got that thing blocked out, because that's unacceptable on a duo play to not block the Mike linebacker, but they didn't. But anyway, he makes this cut. There's DJ Turner. You always say, hey, listen, you got to come in here and make this play. But again, rookie corner, he'll get better at this. I promise you, he will get better. And, but yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to run on a corner, and Minnesota got what they wanted, other than the fact that they didn't block the Mike linebacker. So again, something wasn't right with their blocking scheme. Big play. That was the first play of the second half. Now, this is a saw blitz. And when I say saw blitz, it's Sam and Will. It means double edge pressure. So double edge pressure off the edge here. And they're going to throw that same little wide receiver screen out here. Now, this is pretty impressive. Logan Wilson. They've had issues all year, Bengals have, of tackling on the perimeter. Well, all of a sudden, you've got a blocker and guy going here. This should be a huge play. Watch this play Logan Wilson makes right here. I mean, that's impressive, man. That's an inside linebacker going all the way from the middle of the field, literally the middle of the field, and makes this play outside the numbers. So there you go. I mean, great play right there. Just want to make a point of the tackling. Now, one of the guys that people have been pretty impressed with, Jordan Battle. I've been impressed with him too. I know he has some issues here and there, but I want you to watch this. This is outside zone. He's a safety just fitting up in here right here. Well, all those gaps get taken away, and this gap kind of shows up right here. So he fills this gap. And watch this tackle he makes in here. Boom. See this from the end zone. You see what I'm saying? So, like, they're blocking here, here, here. He takes that gap. Well, he says, okay, oh, shoot. You kind of took the gap I was going to fill. So I'm going to fill back here into this gap, and great tackle, man. I mean, that kid's getting better. Again, I'm it's good to see him come along as a safety, especially being a rookie. But Jordan Battle's doing some good things for the Bengals defense. But that's what I got about the Bengals defense for this week. I thought they played decent for the most part. Again, they had some issues there, but and again, they had some things taken away from them too. That pick six should have been legit. Might not have gone to overtime had that happen. But I think they're getting better fundamentally. Some things are starting to show up that I think people were a little worried about early on in the season, tackling, coverages, things like that. They're getting better. Appreciate all the diaper talk in the chat. You guys are awesome. Asparagus and steak burgers or whatever I heard earlier. Whatever you guys got to do to make it happen tonight, go get you a good dinner tonight. It is Tuesday night. Game is on Saturday, so you're a day early. It's in Pittsburgh now. They got to travel to Pittsburgh. So if you're traveling to Pittsburgh, please be careful. I know the weather up there gets a little crazy this time of year. Steelers have not won a game, by the way, since beating the Bengals. They're on a 3-game losing streak. Arizona, New England, Indianapolis. They're now 7-7, and they are in the basement of the AFC North. So there will not be a preview show this week for the Steelers because there was a preview show for the last game, and the game was just played 3 weeks ago. Not much has changed for what they're doing. The review show is still up. It's up there from a few weeks back if you want to go back and see what the Steelers are doing. Not much has changed on the offense since they changed coordinators as much scheme-wise. I know that they've been kind of bouncing around quarterbacks. See what happens. They were playing Mason Rudolph in that last game, so who knows what will happen there. But I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. You guys have been on it today now, man. I really appreciate you guys. And Elliot, thank you. I know it's your first time with me, and it's always good to have a first with somebody. So, Elliot, appreciate you, and whatever you guys are doing in the chat, keep doing it. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. Hey, Merry Christmas in between, though. I really appreciate my son, again, letting me use his room because I had to move a Christmas tree to get in here. So Merry Christmas to everybody, and I will see you guys right after Christmas. Who Day, and y'all have a great weekend. I'll see you then.